Y'all need to help Stephen Phillips out over there. Out the door and off the radio.
Here's Stephen Phillips.
All righty, folks, we're back with you, and I'm telling you all the way from Texas, this man right here has played with one of the greatest ever songwriters of our time, Mr. Jeremy Lynn Woodall. How are you this morning?
I'm doing good, sir. How y'all?
Man, we're doing good. We're glad to have you. I guarantee it. But a lot of folks out there know Billy Joe Schaefer, and you actually played with Billy Joe for how many years?
Officially for about 15, but I was sharing stages with him and hopping up and playing with him as early as 2013. I mean, it's just 2003.
Right.
So and I've known him about 20 years, but 15 years as his band leader, driver, sheep cook and bottle washer, guitar player, and road manager, and best friend.
You did it all, man. Ain't no doubt. And
I was his bouncing board.
Well, he had to have somebody to depend on. I guarantee it. Excuse me, I'm sorry, man. Packy's going on break. On vacation. I've been trying to learn all pushing the buttons. So let me calm down just a minute and take a break. Okay, I'm ready now. Billy Joe recently passed away, which we all miss Billy Joe Schaefer, no doubt. I want to ask you something. Yeah. When you were playing with him, did you ever think in your mind that the legend that you were playing for, did it ever register you, or are you just Billy Joe Schaefer's your buddy and y'all just play music?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you. When Billy came to know me before I knew who he was.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I was playing with a band out of Mahia, Texas, and they based their sound off of Billy Joe. I was coming out of a heavy metal band. I was a singer in a heavy metal band, and I kind of gave up the rock thing and started joining these country bands. Well, I hooked in with this group, and Billy was their hero. And next thing I know, he's coming to our shows, and his son is coming out and listening to us and hopping up and jamming with him. And so that's kind of how I got to know him. It wasn't through the channels most people probably go through. They probably have to try to find a manager, maybe pitch their ideas to him, or about playing with him, or maybe they do an audition. Billy Joe came in and watched us play live, and he got up on stage with us, and it just went from there. I didn't really know who he was, but once I did,
right.
Once I did, and once he hired me into his band, and I started to see what he was about, and I started to take all the pieces apart and see what Billy Joe is, it just floored me. How great he was, and how I hadn't recognized him before that.
Mm-hmm.
So along the way, it's fair to say that I didn't take 1 second of it for granted. I woke up in the morning and pinched myself. I said, "Man, you're Billy Joe Schaefer's guitar player."
Yeah. Yeah.
How'd you get here? I didn't know how famous he was. I didn't know how influential he was. Billy Joe's like a kept secret in this business. And that's cool too,
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, to be honest with you, he was one of my fans first, and it's hard for me to get my head around that these days. I can't believe how lucky I was.
Well, it'd have to be an honor, no doubt. And that's the thing about it. I fell in love with Waylon Jennings back years ago, but when I hear the songs, I always want to know who writes the song. So I go back and found Billy Joe Schaefer and then fell in love with him. But now, he passed.
Exactly.
He's passed away, but now you're kind of carrying on a remembrance of him now. Y'all decided to start, I guess I'm going to say a tribute, because I feel like it's more than that. Tell us kind of what you got going on with that.
Well, basically, I've been sitting here since Billy passed, and you can tell I'm an air conditioning guy,
Yeah.
Like, I kind of got out of the business. It's hard for me to go sit up Joe Blow and the Schmoes after traveling with Billy Joe Schaefer for all those years.
Right.
It's difficult. So I have my own band, and I play some stuff a little bit, just to get out and play some. But I've been sitting here, and I talk to Billy Joe fans all the time, and how much they miss him, and how much they miss seeing us, and everything. And I just got the idea together to put together a tribute band to kind of play around town, maybe play around Texas, and try to bring the sounds that we had when Billy, because Billy crafted everything that we played. He touched it by hand and said, "I want you to play this. I want you to play that." So I kind of want to take that back out to the people, because Billy was not finished.
Mm-hmm.
he was nowhere near finished with what he wanted to do. People still need to hear these songs, and that's why he was out there to begin with. He wasn't getting rich, and I don't expect to get rich, but I do expect people to draw from these songs the same way that, or hopefully in a similar way that when Billy was here. You know, the material, the songs are great. They're still here, and somebody needs to be out there playing them. Right. And who else better than his former guitar player? You know, I was with him all the way until the last breath. So we put a little band together. It's called Surrogate Son, and we do about an hour worth of band material, and then we bring up people that Billy influenced. It can be anybody. It can be somebody. You just hop up and tell a story about how Billy impacted your life, and hopefully we'll get some musicians that played with him to come out and do some cameos and things, and just a big celebration of one of the greatest songwriters that ever walked the earth.
Well, I'm with you. And I think one of the things now that you're going to do, tell me, are you going to tell stories? Because you were exactly with Billy Joel, and I mean, and you know, we're friends on Facebook. You're always posting these little videos and telling these stories about how Billy did this and Billy did that. I mean, he was actually a character, sounded like. I mean, he sounded like he was a character for sure. And I've got enough stories to do 10, 15 books on it. You know, I could do a whole book on our first year out. Right. So yeah, there'll be some stories. I want to do as much music as possible, but like I'm just like I am on my Facebook page. I try to tell the funny stories and you know, the warm moments, and try to share those with people. And I always did. If I was on the road, even when Billy was alive, if something neat happened, I would share it with the Facebook crew, because it's no fun to go have all that fun by yourself. Right. You want to share it with somebody. And so yeah, there'll be a lot of that, and hopefully other people sharing their stories and stuff. That's not going to be a very just like the center point of it, because I'm not near the storyteller that Billy was, but that it will be a big part of everybody in the band knew Billy Joe, and they all have stories that they want to share about him. And I'm sure the people that get up and sing and play with us are people that just want to get up and tell a story. That's kind of what it's for. Everybody has a personal connection to Billy Joe, and this is a chance for us to all enjoy that and share that. I remember the first time I heard Slim Chance and the Can't Hardly Play Boys, I thought, dang, he wrote that song about me. I didn't realize Billy Joe knew me, but
That's great.
Except for the Slim part.
Yeah, except for the Slim part. But yes, Slim Chance, that's a fun. But you know, he's got that song, and then you go all the way to you know, I'm Gonna Live Forever, and I mean, you know, it's just his writing ability is just unreal. Which I mean, like I said,
him and Eddy could get together, and they would compete with each other. You know, who could come up with the better part, who could come up with the better line, who could come up with the better lyric. And to me, that's how those songs got so great, is just the interplay between them. See, our band is not a Billy Joe Shaver tribute band. It's a Shaver tribute band, because I'm just as influenced by Eddy as I was by Billy. And with them both being gone, we definitely include both of them. But it's hard to talk about Billy Joe without throwing Eddy in there, because he was a massive print on what was going on. And you know,
I mean, you're right about that. You know, he's got that one thing where he was playing with Dwight Yoakam, and he went to break. And that's the only part I ever watch. I just fast forward it to Eddie's break, you know, when he did the break. You know, I don't even watch, you know, because that was just love it. I mean, and to know that he passed away early in life, and that worked hard on Billy Joel. I know it did. And I feel like you were there he kind of took you under his wing to kind of absorb the heartache, I guess it seems like, because
it took a little while. He had Jesse Guitar Taylor with him, and then I think he had a couple other guys, but his guys kept dying on the road. So he figured he'd get a young guy that wasn't going to die on the road on him. So that's pretty much how I got my job.
So tell me something now. These folks that's listening out here, where can they go to follow this new thing that you've got out?
Right now, all we've got is a Facebook page. It's called Surrogate Son, and you'll see Billy. We got Billy with a set of wings. It's kind of just so you know where you're going. It's a Facebook group, basically, not a group, but just like a page. Right. And I've only had this thing going about a week now. I think our first rehearsal was last weekend, and we've already got a couple of gigs lined up, and we've got a good solid hour of band stuff, and then we got ideas for the other 30 minutes to fill up with people sharing their stories and things like that. But so yeah. The best way to do it is just go through our Facebook page, or they can get on to my page. I post just about everything that's on the Surrogate page. I mirrored it on my page, so either one of them's fine. But that'll get them right in there where they can kind of see our schedule and what we're going to be doing and kind of what our ideas are for the future and how we're going to celebrate this great songwriter.
I mean, it's great, but that's the thing about it now that just because he played lead guitar for Jeremy, you had your own thing going or have your own thing. You've got some cool songs yourself, man. I mean, I love
thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that. I've been writing for a long time. I used to write for the metal band that I was in and the hard rock bands and stuff like that. And then when I got with Diamondback, a lot of your listeners will know Diamondback. That's the band that I got hired with Billy Joe. I wrote a lot of songs for them also. 4 songs on that second record were mine, and I had just joined the band. So Billy liked my songs. I think that's one of the things that drew him to me, because they're simple. I don't put a lot to them, but I try to make what it is quality, as much as I can. Even if it's a 3-chord song, you can play with dynamics and you can play with people's emotions with those 3 chords.
Right.
So I think Billy kind of picked up on that, and I picked up on the same thing with him. I had a couple of songs that he was really crazy about. He told me several times, I wish I wrote that. I wish I wrote that. There's no telling. I cannot tell you how good that feels to have somebody say that. Or even like you, Stephen, when you say you enjoy it, I appreciate that.
Right.
I put a lot of my heart and a lot of my soul and a lot of my life on the line there to entertain you and maybe make you think. You were asking me about one of my songs, One Horse Town.
Yeah, I love that thing, man.
I believe the other day. It was a very hard song to write because I had to face some things that not everybody wants to face, and you have to complete that thought and completely face it before you can put it to pen to paper and try to translate that to somebody else. So to say Billy was tortured would be one way, but another way is that's how he got out of all that. He told me several times, he said, man, this is the best form of therapy. And I couldn't agree more, because once I've dealt with the issues that was in One Horse Town, that song, I swallowed it and moved on.
Right.
So it's really good for that. And I can see why he wrote songs. I can see why I write songs. I can see why other people write songs.
Well, that's the thing about it. And the songs, actually, not just you in therapy, but other people that hear them. I think that, you hear all the time people saying that, that has songwriters, as people come to them and like, really, you helped me through this situation or that situation. Music to me is very powerful. I don't think people actually realize how powerful music, is, especially in what situations you're in.
That's
you never
true.
know. Yep. And it's.
I agree. Music is our common denominator. It goes between all people. Everybody enjoys music. We can't always communicate through language, but we can all enjoy music together. When we go overseas, we hear people that don't even speak English, and they can sing every word of these Billy Joe Shaver songs, and they know what they mean.
Right.
How that transcends is beyond me, but I'm glad it does. And I don't know, songwriters to me, those are our artists of the day.
I love them, man.
You don't have Rembrandts anymore so much. You don't have your Beethovens anymore. You don't have our great architects like we had back when things were built the way they used to be built. We just build boxes now. But these songwriters have really held on to that culture and that influence and the art, the artist, the art of the form, and it seems like it hasn't been diluted. To me, some artists do, but it's still out there. You still have great writers like Keith Gaddis, Lucinda Williams, like Billy Joe. They're starting to kind of fall off now, but
well, there's definitely no money in music right now, man. I'm telling you. I mean, far as writing songs, it seemed like the way the thing is set up, everybody gets the money but the songwriter, which is kind of sad. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you have a favorite Billy Joe Shaver song that you like to do? I mean, I know it's an impossible question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
If I was to have to pick one, and that's a tough one, you're right.
Yeah.
But if I was to have to pick one, I'm gonna tell you the song that I always hop up if I hop up with a band. My very first choice is to do Old Chunk of Coal.
Yeah.
Because Billy talked about that song and how much it meant to him, And it just sounds like a little old ditty until you start taking the parts apart and start saying, well, what's he saying? What's he saying? He's trying to tell you how to better yourself.
And he did. I mean, he really did. I mean, it's life experience.
Absolutely. And it's a way to overcome where you are. He told me he was in a real bad space when he wrote that song. And he's got a big, long story. I think it's all in his book about walking up to the altar and was there was a rock that was like an altar. And he was about to jump off because he was tired of his life.
Right.
And he was ready to turn around and he's ready to jump off that cliff. And he said he doesn't know what happened. He turned back around. And he was walking back down that trail and he was singing that song. That's magic, sir.
Oh, I know, man. And
so every time, there's good songs. Live Forever is a great song. George on a Fast Train is a good song.
Oh, we do that one. Yeah.
But Old Chunk of Coal has a special ring to it. And I think it's because I know the story behind it, Mm-hmm. But check out Fame. Fame is on Billy and the Kid.
Right.
And it's one of my favorite songs because he's singing to fame. He wrote a song to the idea of fame. You bright elusive thing. Somehow you made your way into my life today. I mean, this guy could write.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Who writes a song to fame?
Who writes? I mean, all these songs, man. I mean, that he's got out's just unreal. But I mean, I cannot appreciate. We have got to get to break. I know the main man over here is smashing his watch and all that kind of stuff. But
all good. I'll hang out and we can talk a little more.
Okay, well, we'll take a break then. All righty, we're back with you. We got Jeremy Lynn Woodall here. He is starting a new, not tribute, I wouldn't say tribute, Surrogate Son, honoring Billy Joe Schaefer. And what part of Texas you live in? I know you're in Texas.
I live right smack dab in the middle.
Mahia, right?
No, I live in Waco, just outside of Waco.
Oh, I know Waco real well. I'm from East Texas.
Oh, okay, cool. What part?
I went to school in Elkhart, lived in Palestine, around that area.
Oh, nice.
Fairfield.
Well, you probably heard of him back then.
Yep, sure did. I actually saw him a long time ago.
Yeah, but you know how them folks are from around down there.
Hey, now.
I do.
Waco's not that far away.
Yeah, Waco from Waco.
We're not that far removed from East Texas.
There you go, man. That's so funny. But, I get tickled at some of Billy Joe Schaefer. If you're not a Billy Joe Schaefer fan, you definitely need to. And we need to get some people behind this Surrogate Son because this is going to be good. But, Billy Joe, like you say, he found Jesus. And some of the songs that he wrote was just, I'm going to live forever. And if I give my soul, I love that tune and all that. I actually sang one of his songs in church, and they churched me because it's that one. I ain't going to say it because we're on the radio, but if you don't love Jesus, y'all can fill in the rest.
Hey, double hockey sticks, baby.
Yeah. That's the real deal there, man. Ain't no doubt. But of course,
it is.
It didn't go over too good in my church, so they're like, but it's gospel to me. But anyway.
Well, it's one of those songs that you what was that other one? Get thee behind me, Satan.
Yeah.
Singing that in church, and people will get a little highbrow all night also.
Yeah,
but that's just the nut cutting of it. Yeah. I watched Billy Joe write a song one time. We were coming out of Atlanta, and I said, Billy Joe, look at that old lonely beer bottle just sitting out there in that puddle. We were on an on-ramp,
right,
getting on the interstate. And I said, look at that beer bottle just sitting over there, and it was just sitting in the puddle, just kind of dancing around from the night before. And I said, look at that. That's kind of neat. I said, that's probably from somebody. That's the last standing man from last night, something like that. And we got down the road, and I guarantee you we didn't get to the very next exit. And Billy started singing a song about that bottle.
Right.
And it was so good, it would give you chills.
Right.
It made you think about going back and getting that bottle and picking it up and going, man, you don't realize how special you are. Billy wrote a song about you, and it was good, too, Talked about the bottle missing its friend and still dancing from the night before, and he was borrowing from what we had talked about. He was just such a great writer, and he would go in there, whether it was religious or whether it was emotional or whether it was something where he's trying to teach you a lesson, and he would hit you right over the head.
Yeah.
I mean, not too many writers can do that. He was real good with words.
Like you said, he wrote continuously, and I think right up till he passed away. Is there? I mean, there's always just like the lost records of Waylon or the lost tracks of Bob.
Are you trying to find his?
Are they going to be songs come out that he wrote that left on the shelf. They're like, we have got to put this out for the people. Are there going to be that?
You know, Billy, I have a studio. Actually, I'm sitting in my studio right now. Billy would come out here and just record. He said, I've never recorded this. I've never recorded that. So I've got quite a few songs that belong to Billy that he wrote that people have never heard. And if they ever get his estate figured out and figure out how to apportion it correctly, you know, instead of just throwing it to whoever has the newest piece of paper. Right. If it ever gets situated correctly, because there's a lot going on with that right now,
right,
then I'll talk to whoever I can about getting those songs to them and getting them out and getting them to the people. But like, I'm probably getting a little bit of trouble right now if I was to just start releasing his.
Oh, I'm sure you would, but I hope that happens. All I want is the old Dodge van, man. That's all I'd love. I'd give my eye to.
I love that old van. I asked him several times to buy it from him. He wouldn't do it. Yeah. He had it out so it would go up hills a little bit easier. Yeah. And it's been modified. It's a great van. Boy, it sucks some gas though.
Yeah, boy, right now.
$10, 9-10 miles a gallon on that thing, but like I say, it's bored out so it can haul the mail.
Yeah, that is so funny. So anyway, Jeremy, we have got to get to it, man. I have got to let you get back to doing your thing. But like I said, y'all go to the official Schaefer tribute band he's got. But it's more than a tribute band. This is Surrogate Son. Y'all can go to Facebook on that or Jeremy Lynn Woodall and follow all the stuff going on. This guy right here is no doubt a super, super, super cool dude. He's been with Billy Joe Schaefer for years, and the stories that he knows. Next time we get you on, we got to get a story. We got to get a Billy Joe Schaefer story, because I know there's always a story that Billy Joe did something wild or crazy.
I got a bunch of them, man. Call me anytime. We'll do this. Hey, next time we'll get the Surrogate Son band in here to say hey to y'all.
Oh, and good. Yeah,
that'd be
maybe
great.
Play a song or something.
That'd be great. The only thing that throwed me off a little bit, man, you're in Texas. Where's your cowboy hat at?
Man, I work AC business now. A lot of them don't like the cowboy hats, so I just wear a ball cap that they give me, and I get home, I put that thing on and go back to being me.
There you go. Jeremy, man, we do appreciate you. We love you. Y'all go to the Surrogate Son on Jeremy Lynn Woodall. Go to the Surrogate Son. You can get that. Also, like their page, follow them, and like I said, if you're a Waylon Jennings fan, if you're any to do with any kind of outlaw country or anything like that, you don't know who Billy Joe Schaefer is, you have lived under a rock. But go follow this, and some of the stories and stuff that you post, even the videos of y'all just sitting in the kitchen jamming, he's got it. Y'all have to follow him. And Jeremy, thank you so much for getting up and getting on.
It is my pleasure, man. Thank y'all for having me.
All right, you take care, Bo.
Have a good day.
Thank you for spending a little time with us. And remember, you can tune in every morning at WJULradio.com at 8 a.m. Eastern. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel and like us on Facebook, The Morning Dish.